Welcome back. Let's continue where we left off. We were speaking with the media officer of the Dream Team 6, talking about Timi Bikagboro. Well, okay, let me quickly introduce the guys that have just joined me while we wait to make connection with Timi. I have the pleasure of having the Super Eagles media officer sitting right next to me, Toyin Ibitoye, and of course Onyenwuchi Nwachukwu, regularly with us on Monday evenings. It's good to have you guys with me. But before I get your thoughts, let's continue with the conversation that we were having. Timi, if you can hear me, I'm very sure that a lot of people are worried that if we have a game in 2 days, that you guys are still right there in the U.S. So looking at that, how worried should we be about the Dream Team 6 and what will be their performance in Rio?
Well, the boys are also worried. The boys are tensed up. They've been asking questions, but the truth of the matter is that we're supposed to leave you on 29th, but the flight arrangements made, if we are taking that arrangement, we'll have arrived in Manaus on the 31st, which is like a 2-day journey, very hectic. And so many consultations, so many meetings have to be held, meetings have to come in, the coach have to come in, making appeals here and there. And of course, now that the players know that they're getting leaving tomorrow, Tuesday, they're relaxed right now. And because the truth of the matter is that the time difference between Atlanta and Manaus is nothing. It's the same time, the same weather condition, same environment. And unfortunately, the charter flight it's about 7 hours. We'll be arriving directly to Manaus. The players will have all through Wednesday to rest. Then, of course, Thursday we can play Japan. It's not going to be easy, but of course we expect the boys to pull through.
Okay, to me, I want us to make this a very robust conversation. So I'll allow Toyin Ibitoye and Onyenwuchi Nwachukwu. I'm very sure they have questions to ask you as well. Let me start with Toyin. I'm very sure there's something you want to say to Timi Bikagboro.
Well, nothing too much to say, but to me, let me start by commending you for the good job you've been doing in updating us with the stories from the camp and dispelling those rumors about Mikel giving some of his personal money to the team, paying for the team bus, to training and all of that. Thank you for doing a good job. But how many more players are you expecting to join you now? I know that a lot of the players are in camp, but you are expecting about 2 more or 3 more to join you before you leave for Manaus. Or are they joining you in Manaus? What's the arrangement like?
Actually, we're expecting just 2 players, Umar Minu and Trust Ekong. Trust Ekong actually left his base earlier today, and I'm talking right now, he should be hitting Manaus in about 2 hours' time from now. Umar Minu, he's already called Kousiasiad, that I wanted him to come to Atlanta to meet us here so we can go together, but it's going to be clumsy and hectic for him. So he's also going straight to Manaus. So by this evening, he should also be in Manaus. So the rest of us will join them in Manaus. That's basically what we were expecting.
Okay. Well, the next voice you're going to hear is Onyenwuchi Nwachukwu. I'm very sure he has something to ask you as well.
Well, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, I have a double-barrel question. The first question is, I read a press release by the media aides to the minister, to the fact that the minister held a meeting with John Mikel Obi today, and according to the release, that the crisis in camp has been doused. So I was a bit taken aback why the minister held a meeting with John Mikel Obi only, without Coach Samson Siasia. Then the second question is about Siasia's salary. There is a report in the newspaper today that he's going to receive his salaries on Tuesday. So I just need the official reactions to this question.
It's your paper that reported it, Tony. Your paper reported it.
Yes,
the newspaper.
Yes, Sporting Life reported it.
Reported it. Quote it very well.
That Siasia will be paid on Tuesday.
Okay, let's have Timi's reaction to those questions.
Well, let me start from the last question. Yes, Siasia spoke with the NFL president, Amadou Pinnick, who assured him and the other members of the coaching crew that they will get their salary soonest. I don't know where the two-day date came up from. but I know that the NFL president has assured them that they will get their salaries very, very soon. And he's been excited. He's been ready to go. He's been thanking the president and saying that will go a long way in motivating them. For your second question about the minister's meeting with Mikel, the minister has the right to meet with anybody he wants to meet with. He has the right to hold a meeting with anybody he wants to hold. Don't forget that he is the Minister of the Federal of Nigeria. So I can't ask him who he will hold a meeting with. But of course, as per crisis in the team, all I can say is that those are issues I think if we start going through that one, we could be dividing the team. So for me, we have gone beyond that now. The minister has intervened. We are traveling tomorrow. And because our attention right now is on our first game against Japan.
Okay, to me, before we let you go, let me just ask you this. How is the team responding to the burden of expectation? Nigerians may act as if they don't really care. Nigerians may say you're not going to win anything, but they expect something. So how is the team coping with that huge body? A lot of people have even said probably that the football event might just be our only realistic chance of making something. How are you guys dealing with that amount of pressure?
The truth of the matter is that the good thing is that a lot of these boys have played for the Super Eagles. I can say about 9-10 of them have played for the Super Eagles. So they have, and some of them have played big time football outside here. So they know what they've both said is, let us just play our first game against Japan. After the first game against Japan, which they are hoping to win, once they take that one, everything comes in natural. They will settle down. The tension will come down. The excitement will go. They will enjoy themselves. But the good thing is that I can tell Nigerians is that from the team I have seen here on ground, both on the pitch and off the pitch, on the bench, we have quality. The boys who will be selected to start and those who will be on the bench, anyone I selected, I can tell Nigerians that they should be proud that they have a team they can look up to.
Okay, Timebi Kagboro, we want to thank you for your time on the show, and we also want to wish the team well. And of course, we hope that at the end of the day, you guys will come back with a medal, and hopefully all things will go according to plan. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think there's really nothing to add, but let me go to Onyewuchi. I don't know. A lot has been said, and Timebi Kagboro said, let's allow those issues. But let's talk about the team's chances in Rio. How bothered should we be looking at some of the vibes, some of those things we might not even want to talk about, but how bothered should we be?
Well, you know, I marvel when people just gloss over issues. Say, you know, there's this cliche in Nigeria, let's move on. Where are we moving to? You know, this team is supposed to leave on Friday, July the 29th. And here we are, 3 days later, you know, they are still talking about charter flights. You know, yes, the media officer will have to do his job. You don't blame him. You know, it's a difficult work, you know, when you try to manage crisis, information management all the time. But the reality is that I think our traveling arrangement has been bungled. And, you know, the minister for me has not even helped issue. You remember last week he said he was not aware that the team, you know, we are
from 2-3 weeks ago,
you know,
in the first place.
So if the minister is not, he claimed at that time that he was not aware, you know, then he begins to ask. We begin to ask ourselves some vital questions.
Okay.
I have a slightly different opinion from what Donye is saying, that we gloss over issues. Yes, we should, look at whatever mistakes we make, correct them, and make sure we don't make those mistakes again. But the fact of the case is that you have to move on. You can't stay in the mud of a failure or mistakes forever. You have to dust yourself up, clean yourself up, and move on. But it's a pity that the team has gone through all of this, and of course we know who is responsible for everything about the team. But I think we cannot afford to be passing the buck now when we have a game in 2 days. Let's put all we have in together, face Japan, and allow these guys to settle as quickly as they can, and see what comes out of it. And don't forget, the Nigerian team is a team that thrives in adversity. It's when our back is against the wall.
That has not worked. That has not worked. It has not worked.
I want to ask you quickly, can we look away from all of this and focus on the football? I'm not even talking about moving on now. All of these issues, are there ways that we can play the game?
The major characters are the players. And if you are saying that we should focus, what are we focusing on? The players are not in Rio, for goodness sake. They are not even in Menas, where the game we hold. You know, there are issues of finance, there are issues of camp allowances, money. The players are not motivated. So if you are saying that the players should look away, how do you assuage them? What assurances are you going to give these players? Yes, the minister has spoken to the captain.
In the light of in the light of everything that you've said, what would be your expectation from the Nigerian team?
Let's see the first game. Yes, Timi just told us that there's quality in the team, both the starting 11 and on the bench. Let's see the first game against Japan. Don't forget, Yemi, that the team from Japan 2 weeks ago arrived the venue of this game, and they played Brazil last Saturday. So they don't have crisis.
Okay, all right. Well, let's we have to move on. We have to move on, and what you have on screen, the Super Eagles, and so good that we have the Super Eagles media officer sitting right next to us, and we're not putting you in the video, but you're individual anyway. It's transfer season, and you read the news and talk. You don't really get to hear much about Nigerian players. Does this worry you in any way? You look at the players moving from one club to the other. You see a lot of even African players moving. But does it worry you?
Some of our players have made their move already. So you can view this from two ways. Okay. You could view that our players are settled down where they are, and of course we have a good number of young players who are in good clubs, top clubs. But then a few, Kelechi Iheanacho, Alex Iwobi, and a few of the others. But some of them have made their moves and they have settled in well wherever they have decided to go. Isaac Success is now in the English Premier League. Ahmed Musa is now with English champions Leicester. Anthony Uja has gone to make good money for himself in China. And a few of our top guys are getting seriously involved with their clubs in pre-season. A lot of stories about Onazi going to Turkey and all of that. So that will always be there. Omeru as well, getting a contract extension at Chelsea, but probably will go on loan somewhere else. So the boys are settled, and for us, it's a matter of getting them in the right frame of mind ahead of the World Cup qualifiers.
I don't know if you agree. A lot of people want to see a Nigerian move to Liverpool, move to, we can understand players who grow through the ranks, but you want to see somebody who is in hot demand. Look at, for instance, maybe Sadio Mane, left from one club, left to Liverpool. You want to see things like that. And if it's missing, some people want to question maybe it's an issue of quality.
Well, there are two ways, for our players to get, big clubs in Europe, for the national team to do well. In '94, when our players, when Amuneke went to Barcelona, the national team, was doing well, yeah. High in FIFA ranking, individually and collectively. That is not the case now. The media officer is here, and I think he agrees with me. That's not the case now. So you are not likely to see a lot of players. Yes, Ahmed Musa went, to Leicester. All of us rejoice over that. But how often does it happen? It has not been happening, very often. We just hope that some of these players like Nwakali or Sime, yeah. The rest coming up, can give us reasons, to celebrate as far as transfer season is concerned. But as it is now, yeah. We are not likely to see that because the national team is not doing well, and we don't have the players coming up from the ranks up there. So the likes of Victor Sime, Nwakali, and the rest, maybe in the next couple of years, 2-3 years, if they continue to improve on their game, can make headlines.
The Olympics is a very good shop window for some of these players. Mm-hmm. If we have a fantastic performance at the Olympic Games, remember Kanu had
season will still be open.
Yeah, Kanu had a good Olympic Games, helped this move from Ajax to Inter. So the Olympics is a very good shop window for these boys. Do well at the Olympics, help Nigeria to the very crucial stages, and then you get a lot of suitors who will be out there to look for your signature and wait till January when the season reopens, and then you make your move. So the most important thing is that we are in the tournament going to the Olympic Games, and then an opportunity for these boys to go out there and do what they love to do and win themselves a lot of favors.
All right, a quick response, Onye, because we might have to go on break soon. The aspect of the Flying Eagles, a lot of people feel that a chain has been broken, the transition, there's a gap that we might probably need another 2 years to plug. I don't know if you agree, or are we producing those guys on a regular basis?
No, I don't totally agree that the chain has been broken. You see, at the under-17 level, the players got to the World Cup, and they showcase what they're able to do. But when you get to under 20, you are almost an adult.
Okay.
You are, you can play for the national team.
Right.
So I don't think that a chain has been broken.
Okay, let's leave it at that, and we allow Toyin Bitoye go and rest. We'll come back after this break. We'll come back. We'll still be talking about things happening in Nigeria, talk the domestic scene, and a whole lot of other issues, all for you on Sports Tonight. Join us again.